Hey guys, I just heard a little bit of air in these baseboards. I'm going to show you how to purge the air out of the baseboards. Okay, I'm going to show you how my system works here. This is the water line coming in. It goes into a reducing valve. Now it's an automatic reducing valve. It takes 50 pounds of water pressure and it turns it into 12 pounds. The reason it has to reduce it is because if it stayed at 50 pounds, the boiler valve is set to the pressure relief valve on the boiler is set for 30 pounds. It might be 35, but I think it's 30 pounds. And it'll blow. So it reduces it to 12 pounds so I can get water up to the second floor. This is the manual override. What happens is if you lift this up, it's going to take the 12 pounds and pump it up to 50. So don't ever turn this on without having your spigot open there. Okay, so it goes through here, and then it goes into these zone valves and travels up the zone valves, and then it goes into the bedroom, living room, or whatever room I has that thermostat in, and then it comes back and it travels down this way. So I have a shut-off ball valve here, and I have a drain here. Now it's really easy to take the air out of your lines. I prefer to use a bucket and a tube, and I'll show you how I do it. So once again, the water travels this way into the reducing valve, goes up into the 3 zone valves, and depending which one's open, we're going to have to manually open before we purge the water out. So it goes into the living room, bedroom, and also the basement area, and then it comes back and returns over here. So let me show you how this is done. The air is in my living room, so this is my living room check valve, zone valve, I'm sorry. So what I'm going to do is shut the living room return. So I marked it living room return, living room check valve. I'm going to shut the boiler for a split second, and then I'm going to manually, there's a little lever here, see, I'm going to push it all the way over and open the valve up. Once it goes all the way over, there's a little notch it fits into. Just push it in and it locks into place. So now this valve is open, and as I let water out, the automatic reducing valve is going to let water in. So I'll show you how that works out. Okay, what I did was I placed a bucket with a hose into my valve. I closed the system so it's not going back into the boiler. This is my return line, and I open it slightly. What you're going to notice is the bucket's going to start filling with water. Now you don't want to open it too much, because if you open it too much, the valve is not going to start working. It's not going to be able to pump enough feed water into the system to push out the air. The water's just going to come out and it's going to slowly fill. If you want to increase the flow rate, you could open this up. You hear it turn on, and it's kind of catching up. But I go very slow with it. And you actually hear that? That's air coming out. You see, it's quieted down, so I already got some air out of the system. And when it's in the bucket, I don't know how good you can see there. When it's in the bucket, if air comes out, you'll actually see the bubbles coming out of the hose. So far, just the initial set of air came out. Air came out when I first turned it on. You want to keep an eye on your pressure meter, your pressure over here. Right now it's at about 10, so I want to increase it. I can do that by opening up the valve to 50. Now I shut it. And I start slowing down the amount of water coming out of the valve. The thing is, you're just flushing it. You're flushing new water in the system right now. The valve is letting water in. It's going through the zone and pushing any air out through the radiators and back around, and it's going to come out, and the air is going to be gone by the time we're done. Keep in mind, that you might have to take 3 or 4 buckets out. I prefer to just keep flushing it because the water's got to travel upstairs into the living room, back down. And you see there's no air coming out right now. No air. Seems to be going well. So far, the only air I saw was when I first opened up the valve. It just came right out. But I'm gonna pass about 2 or 3 buckets out of here, just to make sure. Okay, I'm pretty much nearing the end. This is my 3rd bucket of water that I'm taking out. Had a little bit of, see a little bit of the air bubbles coming out right there? And that's why you have to be patient with it. Just because it stops for a little bit doesn't mean there's not any more air in there, but pretty much there's more air in there. You can actually see the air bubbles coming out. Now they stopped. So, once I'm done, I'm going to close this valve, open this valve up, and then close off the that valve, and we're done. Now I have 3 zones. I'd have to do the same step for each zone. So if I wanna air out my bedroom zone, I go into the zone valve, open that up, attach a hose here, shut the line so it doesn't go into the boiler, and just bleed it that way. And right now, still a little bit of air coming out. You want to keep an eye on this gauge right here. It's gonna, I like to see it always around 10. If it drops too much, that means the water's not filling up fast enough, so you're gonna have to close off your bleeder valve a little bit. But I like to see it around 10. I don't know if you can see that. Right now it's at 10 pounds per square inch. And when the system's sealed, that jumps up to about 15 pounds per square inch. It's set for 12, but once the boiler starts kicking on and heat builds up in there, the pressure goes up. Okay, looks like we're done. Pretty much not that many bubbles, none are coming out. And this is the way we put things back to normal. We shut the valve. You actually hear the water still filling this up. It's slowing down. Right now the valve's still putting on a little bit of water. It's slowing up, and it's almost stopped. Okay, and now we have to close up the valve again, the zone valve. And the way you do this is, it's hard to see, but pretty much you push it out and it starts going in place. You see? So it's got a little bit of resistance. It feels like a wind-up toy. You push and lock it over to open it, and then just release it and it goes back. And that's it. I turn my boiler back on. I open up my zone, and pretty much that's it. That zone is bled clean. There's no air in it. I remove my hose, and then I would do the same thing for the other zones. I would shut off the boiler, open the zone valve. You gotta watch the direction on this, the way it travels. Find the return line for the bedroom, shut the valve, and then bleed it once I connect the hose on it. Do about 3 pails till you see all the bubbles come out. That's it. You won't hear any more noise coming out of that baseboard now.